Today we're going to take a look at the Jazz Club and fix a few things that I think are really in bad need of some modification. And I think we're going to start with the greenhouse. But after we get to that, we're going to come back here and fix this mess, because I'm sorry, I hate how Lego always leaves all their sets very plain and boring in the alleyway. I made some modifications to the front entrance sign as well, but we're going to cover that in another video because the modifications I did for this were strictly for lighting purposes. Starting with the greenhouse, let's fix this ugly roof line first. I can't stand it when you see Lego do things like this, and typically they don't, but that to me is just a complete eyesore. So what we're first going to do is we're going to stand this door up and we're going to take off this 1x4 tile, and then we got to remove the 1x2 plate on the back and the 1x2 plate on the front. Now, because we want to extend this and bring it in fully, we're going to take a 1x3, a 1x1 plate, two trans clear 1x2s, another 1x1 plate to cover that and kind of give it that little ridge or spacing between the glass. Now we're going to put three more 1x1 bricks, trans clear, and one last 1x1 plate on the front of that. Now the back is complete and full, but we still got to do something to the front. And with the original way they had it, it was just a 1x4 plate. So what I decided to do, and it will make it look more fluent on the front, is first I put the 1x3 plate on there, and then I put a 1x4 back on there just like the other side so it meets up. And you can leave it this way, but what I did is I decided to put a 1x1 tile on the front of that, and that makes that roof look so much better. Now the back side of the greenhouse looks pretty good, but to me there's still some room for improvement on the front. And I thought, you know what, we should have a door here. So the first thing I did is pulled off these two 1x2 tiles, and then I replaced them with 1x4 tiles because to me that encloses it and makes it look a little better. And now I wanted to add a door. To build the door, we're going to start with a 1x1 plate, a 1x2 plate with a clip, and then another 1x2 plate. We're going to come over that with some trans bricks, and we're going to start with the bottom with a 1x2 trans clear, another 1x2 brick trans clear, and then we're going to cap off the top with a 1x1. Now we want to lock that together, so we're going to put a 1x4 on top of that and a 1x1 to fill that in. And then the last thing we got to do, because we want this to connect, we are going to take, because we're using this, I just want to point that out as the door handle, and we're going to attach this to this bar here. So we're going to take and put a 1x2 tile here, two clips. These are the 1x1 pieces with the clip, 1x1 modified plate, if you will, and then a tile right here. And that gives us our door. Now, what I'm going to do is I took this piece out from the inside of that, and I am just going to take and clip this door on to this bar piece right like so. And you want to keep the bottom of that bar even with the bottom of the door, so that way it doesn't go too far up or too far down. And now we're going to take that and clip it right back into place. And there we have it. Now to me, we have a finished greenhouse that will look good on the roof of the Jazz Club. Now let's attack the back side. And what I always love to do with all my buildings is I like to add utilities. And these are very easy to make. First, we'll start with the gas meter. It is a modified brick with stud on the side. And then we will take a tap and put it on the bottom side of that. And off that tap, we're going to take a red flower piece and stick that on the end of the tap, so that way it looks like it's the shutoff valve. Then we're going to put a trans clear piece over the front of that, so that way it looks like we have our little meter there. And lastly, finish off the top with one more tile, and now we have a nice looking gas meter. Next, we're going to do the electric meter, and again, we're going to start with the modified brick, and on the bottom of that, we're going to put the telescope piece. We're going to put a 1x1 trans round tile on the face of that. We're going to put a telescope on the top and a bar on top of that, and it just slides in like so. And lastly, I always call this the lightsaber piece, but we're going to put that on the top, and that gives us a nice little electric meter. Now what I did is I placed my electric meter right here next to the little, I'm going to assume that is a fire can or case or something. I'm not really sure what that is supposed to be. And then we put the gas meter right next to that. So that adds a little detail, so it's a little better. Now we have this vent piece here. And to me, that was the perfect place to put some vegetation because we've already got 2 snot bricks built into the building. And how we're going to do that is we're going to take the standard green leaf piece and we're going to put some of these olive green sprue pieces inside of it to fill it up. And I already have mine made up, so just to show you real quickly, this I already have in line to go right there. And now I have 2 more that are already connected together, and we can put them right on top of that. You push it into the hole, and now we have some vegetation going up the back side of the building. Now that alone is already a huge improvement, but I wanted to go a step further, and let's put a fire escape in here as well. So now let's take the floors off, and starting with the lower level, we're going to pull off the 1x8 and the 2x2 plate. And the reason that we're doing that is because I want to put my fire escape in right here, as this would be the easiest place to do that. Now the first thing we're going to do is make the cage that comes out and around. So you're going to take this ladder and you're going to take 2 of these and simply click them together. So now we have our simple fire escape covering that is going to come onto the building like so. And then we want to have something for people to step on. So we're going to take another ladder piece and another one of these and click them together as well. To hold this piece onto the building, we're going to take the modified plate 1x2 and clip it right there. So that way we can actually sit and have that held onto the building. And now let me show you how this all goes together. We're going to put a 1x2 plate on this corner to fill it back in. This 1x1 modified plate. Another 1x1 modified plate with clip. This piece that we made up snaps on right here. And now we got to fill this little gap that we have left. And what we're going to put in here is a 1x3 and a 1x2 plate. So here's our 1x3. Here is our 1x2. Now let's set this floor back onto the building. And you can see this is the piece that they're going to stand on. And we want to put on the other piece that we have here. And I thought it would be easier to do it with the building assembled. So there we go. There's our first piece of fire escape. Now we got to do the next floor. The next floor, we got to take off these 2 1x6 plates. And now the modification again starts just like the other floor. We put a 1x1 on this corner. We're going to take and put a 1x2 plate here. We're going to skip 1 stud. And we're going to put this piece up next. We're going to put our 1x3 again right here. And then our 1x2 right here. And just like before, we're going to be putting on the entire assembly with the bracket on the finished piece here. Now with that fully assembled, we're going to take and put the top floor on there. And to me, that just makes the rear of the building look so much better. It's more finished, more detailed, and not so plain. If you like seeing videos like this, I have made tons of them on my channel, and you can probably click this link here to see more.